Welcome in Friday's edition of Morning Kick Around, kicking off with our long balls. Be sure to subscribe as we get going here. But big news broken by Miami Herald's Michelle Kaufman. Leo Messi, we've heard of him, reportedly has signed a new deal after lengthy negotiations.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly cynical takes on how Major League Soccer may have fumbled the bag a bit on having Lionel Messi here in America. We can talk about the Apple TV deal and paywalls and walled gardens and the lack of reach and all those things, but I think it is undeniable that Lionel Messi in Major League Soccer is a good thing for Major League Soccer. And if he wants to keep playing, if he's not done yet, if he's not ready to hang up his boots, then of course you want to keep him. Jorge Mas, desperate to keep him because they're opening up a brand new stadium next year in Miami, and you want to have Lionel Messi inaugurate your stadium. You want forever that stadium to be called the building that Messi built, even if technically it was already in progress before Messi arrived, even if they had already gotten all the stuff done. And remember, it was a lengthy thing to get a place for them to build a stadium. So to have the best player of all time, the most famous player on the planet, wearing your colors on your new field was very important. And there's no, look, the other part of this, Rob, is he's still good enough. You got to surround him with pieces that can make it work, but he's still good enough.
Yeah, clearly he's breaking records for consecutive games with braces and goals and all that. And definitely a big contributor to the Inter Miami side, and still holds sizable weight in the MLS structure going into the postseason now and then into the future. Without Messi here, the whole kind of Eastern Conference of Major League Soccer kind of takes a bit of a paradigm shift. What is Miami without Messi? That's a big question that still looms. But yes, obviously that's a huge checking the box, having Messi secured in Miami when they get a brand new stadium. Question to you: will one of these stands be labeled him, and will they have a no pickup after yourself policy? It'll be the Messi stand.
That is a terrible dad joke, and I almost want to quit the show right now just because of that. I almost
walk away now.
That was terrible. Okay, so what I would say to the part about the stand is maybe his name will be somewhere. Clearly, it'll be lots of images of Lionel Messi around the building. I wonder if Jorge Mas is already having a statue commissioned to put out front of Miami Freedom Park of Lionel Messi, despite the fact he's only been there for a short period of time. And look, he did bring a couple of trophies to Miami. A Leagues Cup title and a Supporter Shield. Those aren't nothing for a club as young as Miami is. I think that, again, if you're cynical, if you are kind of looking at this through an analytical lens, you could be like, well, I don't know if it's smart for them to put so many eggs in that particular basket, right? Especially and beyond that, to have Messi and friends, right? To have him it's not just Lionel Messi. It is obviously Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba and Luis Suarez, and we know how badly that's gone recently with Luis Suarez. So, man, you can say this might not set them up for long-term sporting success down the road, that Inter Miami may be hamstrung when Messi retires, when all of this comes crashing down and they have to rebuild. But for the moment, of course you lean into Lionel Messi. It would be ridiculous not to.
Yeah, it sure would be. And I'm curious to see what sort of naming or anything like that. And I imagine, like in the article, great reporting here. I'd love to get local reporters getting the scoops rather than national guys every now and again. But the 38-year-old Argentine legend confirmed or sources say that he's agreed to terms to a multi-year contract.
That part, not right? That's the part that stands out, because Lionel Messi is no spring chicken. Like, how many years does he have left before he is out, before his body won't let him do it anymore, before he's out of gas? Now, I don't think players in general like signing one-year contracts. Clubs don't like one-year contracts. I mean, again, for Miami, even if Lionel Messi decides after 2026, all right, that's it, I'm done. And by the way, his international future sort of looms large over this.
I feel like I saw a quote where he even doubted himself being able to be there, which is the first time I saw any sort of admission that it's even debatable whether he's going to make it.
Well, I think a lot of that came from the emotion of what will probably be his final game in Argentina in an official capacity, right? When they played their last World Cup qualifier, and Argentina finished top of the CONMEBOL standing, so already coasting into the World Cup. But he went down and played. I can't remember where that game was. I think it was at Estadio Monumental, which I think is River Plate's building. But he was sort of emotional after it. Obviously, that was for the nation, that was a big deal, right? A nation that has gone from one end of the spectrum to the other with Lionel Messi, because until he started winning things, he was no Maradona.
Yeah,
He
they
was
were not super nice to him down there, were they?
yeah, exactly. They were kind of judging him real harshly. Again, remember he left at 11, 12 years old to go to the Barcelona academy. So they hadn't really formed a relationship with him yet. Then he wins things. Then he brings the World Cup back to Argentina. Of course, he's the greatest of all time. So they had that emotional moment. And afterwards, when asked about his future with the national team, whether he would be playing in a World Cup in the United States in 2026, he did express some doubt. He said, "Time's not on my side." I mean, I think he probably is aware that his body is going to stop working the way he wants it to. Maybe it already has. He doesn't run much, right? It's just those things, that stuff. It's very up in the air whether he is going to be in the World Cup next year. But what's not up in the air if he gets this deal done is that he'll be an Inter Miami player. And while I have my doubts that he'll be as effective long term, if they get 2 years out of him, that's a win for Inter Miami.
Yeah, no doubt at all. And imagine having that sort of leverage that Messi does when you go into a new job negotiation. That clearly they want you to stay, and clearly they want you to be there while they have a building project underway.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
some major leverage there.
The
And
the
at
joke
38, he has 28 goals and 13 assists this year. So it's not like the numbers are dwindling, and they can be like,
no.
well, Leo, I don't know, you're fading out. We don't know if
Right,
we can
that's the other
pay you
thing.
that much.
Again, like the numbers say that he's incredible. He's going to be, he's going to be in that conversation for MVP. In fact, yesterday, as I watched some people on Blue Sky talk about their picks, I think Michele Giannone, who broadcasts for MLS in Spanish, was saying, "I'm going to go ahead and like make my picks now, a month out, just to kind of see where we're at when we finish this season." And he was saying, "I think Anders Dreyer should be the MVP, but I'm almost positive Lionel Messi will win it." Because as much as good as Anders Dreyer has been, and he is up there in goals, but also leading the league in assists and been incredibly important to San Diego, Lionel Messi is Lionel Messi. And right now, he is one goal back of Sam Surge for the lead in the Golden Boot race.
Yeah, another Sam Surridge, another dark horse for that honor. And we'll get to his Fab Four pick when we get to that part of the show. But Jonah, thank you so much
Absolutely.
getting in there with the contribution. Thank you so much. Very appreciated.